You watch Spanish porn, dog? Excellent, this is EA Erphaan Alves, and right now you're inside with Glam Jam Explains. Lock on. Rock on. Lock on is basically the follow-up for No Habla, and it speaks about the continuation of my love affair with Senorita, who I met in No Habla. I finally got her, and I am continuing to entice and spice and indulge. So, long time away since I sing about No Habla. So baby, I have to thank you. I'm definitely living La Vida Loca. That's Lock On in a nutshell. Lock On just stems from the idea of me being attached to the individual that I'm singing about, emotionally and also on the dance floor. In Trinidad, when I follow dancing with a girl for extended period, they say, hey boy, tonight I'm lock on, but he lock on. So that's why we say lock on. Do that for me, mama. Do that for me, mama. Let me see you work your body. Yeah, do that for me, mama. Yeah, this dude just trying to be bossy. You know, long time I warrior since I sing about No Habla. So baby, I have to thank you, because now we live in La Vida Loca. If we just go back a little bit now to No Habla, when the Spanish part taste about mirando da más mucho tiempo would have translated in English to I've been looking at you for a while now. So at that point is when we tied both songs together. So say, I've been looking at you for a while now. And I'm saying again, well, I've been looking at you for a while now, you know, long time away since I sing about No Habla. So thank you, because now we live in La Vida Loca. And if you see the girl, back it up on me. She back it up on me. And she said, how it's so sweet. How it's so sweet. So sometimes they don't really know what you have now as a fella. Sometimes they might underestimate you. So like I will go in the corner and say, fellas, if you see the girl, if you see the girl, don't if you see. So I just put her into song because my songs are true reflections of me, you know. It's like how I will react if something sweet, man. When I lock on upon you, everybody know, can't let go. Lock on upon you, everybody know, you are my boo. So we out there now. You know, naturally when you just meet somebody, most people don't want the whole world to know. You want to jangle the vibes so much now, but you wanna, you know. Senora, Chiquita, my empress, everything is alright. We gonna be real fine. Don't study the feds them. We don't have no problem. So that's a double meaning. I'm not really trying to be the baddest criminal out here. Don't study the police and them. I could get you inside the country for free. No, sir. So I mix the Latin with the Caribbean because the Caribbean fellas go call the lady I empress, you know. But that's why I think they say Senora, Chiquita, you know. My the two cultures together now. Everything is alright. We gonna be real fine. Don't study the feds them. In that little angle there, the feds would mean anybody who against the program or anybody who against we happiness and whatever we dealing with. Lock the border. Make the ship sail for you. No. I saying I talking. So it's lock the order, make the ship sail for you. No border can't confine we know. So a time stamping here. 10 years from now you understand that, oh, you sing this song when them Fenny and them was coming in Trinidad, yeah boy. So within the literature, within the context of the song in terms of love and relationship, when I say lock the order, make the ship sail for you as a man, as your man, I'm willing to provide. And I love, I can sing that part please. And I love when you call out my name loud and proud like the anthem singer, yeah. I just like that line, boy. You ever watch Spanish porn, dog? So it's like, in Trinidad, Papi's an old man, but out there, Papi is the boss. Papi. When they call him Papi. Or when they call my name EA. So I say, and I love when they call out my name loud and proud like the anthem. If you're not with me as a female, you should be proud to claim me behind closed doors and out in the open. So that's what that line means, like you ready to defend me. Yeah, that just don't really make much sense.
Yeah, you're saying.
Yeah, that just me falling bars. But I'm just like a hook now. The hook all it, the sweet all in that. It's like I'm telling you a story, but we have to go to ads. So let me go into ads there. Let me all take a break, pause on the plot. This was powered by. Back then, you know, long time ago, you and all the dancing again. Yeah. So the I don't know That is Excellent! This is EA. This was EA. Glam Jam Explains. I hope you understand this song on a whole new level now. Anyhow, we out. Lock off.